Hi everyone, and welcome to our video on some exam questions associated with completing the square. Our first exam question states, write x squared minus 6x plus 1 in the form x plus a all squared plus b, where a and b are integers. So when we're completing the square, we have to halve the middle number. And bear in mind the coefficient of x is 1, x squared is 1 over here, so it's going to be nice and easy for us to do it. We will be moving on to some harder questions. So we need to halve the middle number. So we're going to halve minus 6, which is going to be minus 3. So instead of x squared minus 6x, we're going to have x minus 3, because we've just halved the middle number and we've removed the x squared because we are just splitting it up into brackets. Okay, so x minus 3, all we've done is we've halved the middle number. Close brackets, I'm just going to square the whole thing. Okay, now minus 3 squared gives you 9. Now we don't want 9, we want positive 1. So we need to get from 9 to positive 1. We will need to subtract 8. So what we have to do here is subtract 8, and that's our completed square. X minus 3 all squared subtract 8, and that's going to give you 2 marks. Now it says, hence or otherwise write down the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. Now we have this x minus 3 all squared minus 8. We need to write down the turning points. Okay, now this coordinate is going to stay as it is. This is going to be the y coordinate. So this is the y coordinate. Now we need to work out the x coordinate, and to do that, we're just going to make this part equal to 0. So x minus 3 all squared is equal to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. As we've done the opposite on both sides, we're squaring over here, so we're going to square root on this side. And then we're going to add 3 to both sides to get that x is equal to 3. So x is equal to 3 and y is equal to negative 8. What are the coordinates? The coordinates are 3, negative 8. And that's going to give you 1 mark. Okay, next question. So it says write x squared plus 8x plus 5 in this form, completing the square form, where a and b are integers. Now again, the coefficient of x squared is 1, so it's going to be nice and simple for us to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to halve the middle number. So it's going to be x. What's half of positive 8? It's positive 4. So x plus 4 all squared. Now 4 squared is 16, but we don't want 16, we want positive 5. So we need to get from 16 to positive 5. What do we have to do? We have to subtract 11. And we're just going to add that to the end of this. So our completed square is x plus 4 all squared subtract 11 for 2 marks. Now we need to write down the coordinates of the turning point. So the y coordinate is going to stay the same, minus 11. Now we have x plus 4 all squared is equal to 0. So x plus 4 is equal to 0. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides to get that x is equal to negative 4. Okay, so our coordinates are going to be negative 4 and negative 11. And that's going to give us 1 mark. Okay, next question. By completing the square, find the coordinates of the turning point of the curve with the equation y equals x squared plus 8x plus 3. Now, what we've been doing here, the question has been split into 2 parts. Now, this question is asking us to do those 2 parts all together. So let's complete the square first. So we have x squared plus 8x plus 3, half the middle number, so we have x plus 4 all squared. Now positive 4 all squared is 16. We don't want 16, we want 3. So 16 to get to 3, what do we have to do? We need to subtract 13, and that's all we're going to add over here. So this is our completed square. Now we need to find the coordinates because that's a turning point. So the y coordinate is going to be negative 13. Now the x coordinate, all squared, is equal to 0. X plus 4 is equal to 0. Subtract 4 from both sides. X is equal to negative 4. So our x coordinate is negative 4. Putting them together, negative 4, negative 13. And that would be worth 3 marks. Okay, next question. This time we have a number in front of the x squared. And all we're going to do is we're just going to divide the whole thing by the number in front of the x squared to get a more simplified version. So because it's 2x squared minus 12x plus 23, let's divide all of this by 2 to get x squared with no number in front of it. So we're just going to separate the 2 out. So it's going to be x squared. What's 12x divided by 2 is 6x. And we're going to add 23 divided by 2. Let's just keep that as a fraction. Now we're going to complete the square for this expression inside the brackets. So again, we're going to half the middle number. So let's put our square brackets in. Let's half the middle number. So it's going to be x minus 3 squared. Now 3 minus 3 squared is positive 9. We need to get to 23 over 2. So 23 over 2 as a decimal is going to be 11.5. So we need to get to 11.5, and in order to do that, we need to add 2.5. So we're going to add 2.5, close brackets. Now let's expand our brackets. So 2 multiplied by this set of brackets and 2 multiplied by 2.5. So it's going to be 2x minus 3 squared plus 5. And that's going to be your completed square. 2x minus 3 squared plus 5 for 3 marks. Now it says work out the coordinates. And that's what we are going to do now. So again, our y coordinate is going to stay the same. So our y coordinate is going to be 5. Now x minus 3 all squared is equal to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. And x is equal to 3. So our x coordinate is 3. Y coordinate is 5. So our coordinates are 3, 5 for 1 mark. Another question, complete the square again, because we need to write it out in this format. So we need to get x squared where it doesn't have a number in front of it. So we have 3x squared minus 6x plus 6. We're going to divide the whole thing by 3 to get x squared by itself. So x squared minus 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 2x, 6 divided by 3 is 2 plus 2. That's what we have. Now we're going to complete the square of everything inside the bracket. So let's get our square brackets out. So half the middle number, so it's going to be x minus 1 squared minus 1 squared is just 1. We need to get to 2, so we're going to add 1. So add 1 and close your brackets. We need to multiply everything outside the brackets to everything inside the brackets. So 3x minus 1 squared, and 3 multiplied by 1 is positive 3. That's the completed square. And that's going to give you 3 marks. Now it says work out the turning point of the graph. So again, y coordinate is going to stay the same. It's going to stay as 3. X minus 1 all squared is equal to 0. X minus 1 is equal to 0. X is therefore equal to positive 1. Putting them together, 1, 3 for 1 mark. Okay. Now, final question. Now, this would be worth a 5 marks on an exam, because it says write your answer in third form. So again, let's follow our basic steps. We need to complete the square. So we have x squared plus 10x minus 3. So again, there's no number in the before the x squared, so it's going to be a bit easier for us. So let's half the middle number. Plus 10 halved is plus 5 all squared. Now positive 5 all squared is 25. We don't want 25, we want negative 3. So we want to get to negative 3. So what are we going to do? We're going to subtract 28. Okay, so we've completed the square there. So we have x plus 5 all squared minus 28 is equal to 0. Now all we need to do in this case, because it says solve and leave your answer in third form, that hints to you that it's going to be in a non-calculator paper. So we are just going to solve for x. So get x onto one side. So it's going to be x plus 5 squared. Let's add 28 to both sides. So it's equal to 28. Now let's get rid of the squared. The opposite of squaring is square rooting. So x plus 5 is equal to the square root of 28. Now let's subtract 5. But remember, before a square root, there's always a plus or minus. So let's subtract 5 from both sides to get that x is equal to minus 5 plus or minus the square root of 28. Now 28, the root of 28, we can simplify. So we can simplify to root 4 multiplied by root 7. Root 4 is just 2 multiplied by root 7, so it's 2 root 7. So it's going to be minus 5 plus or minus 2 root 7. Now the two answers you can have is, you can leave it like this, or you can do minus 5 plus the square root of 2 root 7, or minus 5 minus the 2 root 7. Now you will need both of these answers to get the mark, or you can just leave your answer like this. Okay, and that would be worth 5 marks. And that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and one last thing, please subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell.